Commissioners, Chairman, Manager, I'm William Whitesell, the resident of Lowndes County at 2123 Pinecliff Drive. I want to begin by commending this county commission for taking a proactive approach to finding solutions to some of our companion animal issues by updating our local ordinances. I know over the past few months you've heard from several concerned residents about serious issues such as tethering animals, mandatory microchipping, animals per acre, backyard breeding operations, just to name a few. But I want to talk about an approach that addresses all those very important issues at one time. It will exponentially reduce the number of dogs at large, dogs within adequate shelters, attacks on other pets, attacks on people. The list could go on and on. It reduces all those things by reducing the number of unwanted animals through encouraging sterilization. I believe in efficiency, simplicity, and incentivizing people to do what is good for our county. I believe this method checks all those boxes. This method is in place in many counties and cities across the country. There's no better time than now to implement this, and I'll go over that reasoning as well. Currently, we require residents of our county and our state to obtain and stay current with a rabies vaccination. This is the lowest standard of pet ownership and has been the law for over 50 years. Over time, we've improved that minimum baseline with adequate shelter requirements, ample food and water requirements. Of the above, the rabies vaccination requirement is the only one requirement that is similar to what I'm suggesting, that is an ounce of prevention that yields a pound of cure. In other words, the rabies vaccine prevents expensive outbreaks of rabies, which would be very costly, and the rabies vaccine cost is paid by the pet owner as it should be. What I'm suggesting, like the rabies vaccine, yields a pound of cure for a mere ounce of prevention. This suggestion is an annual pet licensing fee that is forever canceled or forgiven if your dog or cat is spayed or neutered. Right now in Lowndes County, any pet owner can get their animal spayed or neutered, vaccinated for rabies, and receive a microchip for a one-time fee of $35. That is cheaper than a rabies shot alone at a vet's office because vet's offices are requiring an exam with the shot. It also beats the prices of a rabies shot and microchip provided at pop-up shot clinics that you sometimes find in parking lots of Tractor Supply. Again, for $35, anyone in Lowndes County can get a spay or neuter, including microchip and rabies vaccination. By the way, cats are $10 cheaper at $25. This removes any concerns of forcing someone to pay for something that is expensive or that they did not plan for or they can't afford because they're already required to spend that much on a rabies vaccine every year. Additionally, those who want to breed their animals and make anywhere from $300 to $3,000 per puppy, depending on the breed, can still do so at a minimal cost, and that can be whatever you want to set it at. Obviously, I'd recommend making it $35 or more, but those who want to breed their animals are not going to mind paying it because they're making money on their puppies. And whenever they are done breeding their animals, they can get the $35 spay neuter and not have to pay the annual fee anymore. This method is not anything that I've come up with. It is being utilized all over the country by the counties and cities who are winning against the problems caused by too many unwanted animals. Columbia, South Carolina is a prime example of a southern city that has successfully implemented this program of an annual fee that is canceled or severely reduced forever with a spay neuter. I mentioned earlier that the timing cannot be better. Here's why. The recent $35 spay neuters, $25 for cats, are available is due to a continuing grant by the owners of Whitesell vacuum cleaners. Evidently, she has made it her mission to reduce the number of unwanted animals through spay or neuter, so she pays the difference on a $35 or $25 spay neuter, with the caveat that the facility cannot profit from the procedure, so it's essentially a break-even or slight loss for the facility performing the $35 or $25 spay neuter. This program would come at no cost to our county either, as the local vets have previously agreed to collect this registration fee on a monthly basis for the county as long as it's used for something related to animal care within the county. Last year, the Humane Society, a local nonprofit, transported 724 animals, most of which came out of our county shelter to places that already have these laws incentivizing spays and neuters. Imagine going from a place with all these problems and expenses associated with too many unwanted animals to a county that welcomes animals from other places because we don't have enough unwanted animals. I certainly hope we can become that